Welcome. It's Jay Barty. We're gonna go ahead and turn up. It is Thursday night. I officially finished my first week of school. I have homework and essays and thesis papers and all that good stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and start with this whole new combo of just like, okay, so I have to drive an hour and a half to school every day. So y'all, in the process of me driving an hour and a half, I have so much time to think. And then I also have my little sister also tagging along with me. We're both doing the program together. So team nurses. Whoop, 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 whoop. But the purpose of this conversation today and this episode of just fabulousness is pretty much just I wanted to have a conversation about ourselves and self-sabotage. And I think I am a great person to speak on this topic because I am a big past. Like, my whole past was just, oh my God. Like, I think the word sabotage was literally my middle name. And the funny thing is, my middle name starts with an S. So it's kind of like, okay, here's the thing. The reason why I say self-sabotage, because at the end of the day, the only thing that when you do things to affect yourself, it only affects you. Like, even though we have this mindset that if I do something, it might affect my mom, my dad. Because I remember when I was younger, I used to do a lot of crazy, just things that made absolute no sense. And I did it on the sense of I'm going to punish them for not being this way, or for not being that way, or for not being as great a parent, or for not being this. But ultimately, it took me a very long time to realize that, honestly, as parents, realistically speaking, yes, we want to go in the lovey-dovey. They owe us, a house, or not a house, but like a place to live, food, shelter, all of that good stuff. But realistically speaking, your parents really, you were literally a sperm and a little nut that literally could have just been bagged and given away. Like, okay. Like, you literally could have been a freaking something that was... Like, if you catch my grip. Like, so the fact that God allowed you to be produced as a freaking human being that is full living, breathing, and have all your senses is a blessing of its own. So God gave you that, and then from that point on, you were given life. Your parents hopefully were able to nurture you and did right by you, and now you're of age. And by of age, I mean anything really 18 and up, because technically, you're a child prior to then, even though, technically a lot of unchild things can happen prior to 18. But at 18 to and up, you're pretty much an adult. Like, you are an adult. You could smoke. At 21, you could drink. All those little things. After that, you pretty much take off on your own. But as teenagers or as young adults or as adults, we tend to self-sabotage ourselves, either because we don't really know what we want in life, or because we're trying to punish somebody from our past, or we just really don't honestly have a goal set for ourselves. So we do things that are pretty much like, okay, I don't really care the reaction that it has, or this action is going to have a reaction. Every action has a reaction. Everything that we do has a reaction, whether good or whether bad. And like, with me, when I used to sabotage my life, it was because I was truly trying to punish my mother, my father, for the lack of whatever. Like, they gave me what they needed, but I felt like I did not get enough emotionally. Now, whether or not that was true or not, once I got to a certain age, at 18 and up, it was my turn to take over my life, because there are people that were born in absolute poverty, and they still are now at the highest and the highest at the highest. And those people have so much, like, as I'm saying that, my skin is bumping up, and literally, I don't know if y'all can see that, but my skin is bumping up, and it's bumping up because of the fact of that your past truly does not have anything to do with your current present. Like, you literally could have been a crack baby and still been a doctor treating patients that are now from withdrawal of crack. Like, you could have come from absolute nothing. But we do this thing where we sabotage ourselves. And typically it is to punish somebody, or like I said, or just not having the education or the knowledge to realize that whatever we do now will affect us a day later, a year later, 10 years later. Like, literally, what you do is not even just credit. It's not even just like record or anything like that. Like, your actual actions will affect everything that you do. And in us sabotaging ourselves by being either fearful of what tomorrow is, you doing what you're doing today does not help what tomorrow might be. So it's kind of like I said, it took me a very, very long time to fully understand that. And at 29, like I said, I continue to try to do things, and my goals are so different than what they were at 18. So the things that you're doing at 18, at 21, at 19, 20, 21, and all the way up, I started at those ages, like I said, because in society, those are the ages of growth. Even though there's people that have graduated college at 15, 16, 13, 12, which, oh my God, turn up, turn up, turn up. I applaud you, because I'm just trying to go ahead and get that PA now. So it's like, I applaud you all that actually have taken life seriously. But for everyone else that's watching this and you're doing something that you know you're not sure of how it might affect your tomorrow, fix it. Whatever you're doing now that you're not sure how in 10 years it might affect your life, in 5 years, in a week. Like, if you're thinking about quitting your job and don't even know how you possibly might pay rent next month, don't do it. If you're thinking about leaving somebody, yet you don't even know how to properly take care of yourself, don't do it. And not saying that you want to stay with somebody to use yourself, but you have to be smart. You have to position yourself where if anything that you do affects you, there is a backup plan. That's why our mothers always said your left hand and your right hand should not know each other. Like, yes, they're in the same body, they're attached, but what your left hand does and your right hand has nothing to do with one another. So whatever your actions are for today, let them be for today, but also acknowledge that they have a definite reaction to whatever you do. There will be a reaction. So right now, I'm in school. I'm aiming towards getting my nurse degree. Once I am done, I will be a nurse. So right now, I'm in the stage of building myself. So if I was to decide, okay, let me go do whatever recklessness, I could still continue to go to school. But once I'm done, what hospital is going to hire me when I have whatever I done put on myself because of the fact that I did not think of how that can sabotage my life in about 5 years or in 3 years or in 4 years? Well, realistically in 2 years, because that's when I'll be done with school. So in 2 years, I can go ahead and they could give me that, I pass my NCLEX, they go ahead and put my little hat on, I do my thing, but guess what, boo-boo? Ain't nobody about to hire me because my actions today isn't going to affect me in 2 years. So like I said, it always takes a long time for people to acknowledge what their actions are today will affect them tomorrow. And a lot of people don't even want to really take that into effect. Like, it's kind of like, I'm living today. Or this new thing, YOLO, you only live once. You also die once. And before you die, there should be something accomplished, right? And it cannot be just you having your kids. It cannot be just you having kids. It cannot be you just maintaining a job. It cannot be you just, oh, I'm a good person. Like, yes, those are things that's supposed to be. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You're supposed to house your children. You're supposed to work. You're supposed to do these things. These are not things that you get a chip on your shoulder because you're maintaining a regular life. Like, that's not how life works. You don't get applauded. I'm sorry. I will not applaud you for doing something to maintain your regular day. You get applauded for doing something extra. I don't applaud you for going to school and passing your class. Now, yes, when you pass all of your classes with A's, oh, mama is definitely going to show out for you. And you definitely going to get a lot and a lot and a lot. But in life, that's exactly how it works. You do well and you continue to excel, you will always be at the top. Education. Things that cannot be taken from you is your education. It's things that you build on. Like, everybody's mama done told them, no one can take whatever education, whatever you have learned. No one can take. Like, today I learned in class about Narcan and about how the fact of it's narcotic antagonist. So what that is pretty much is if you take anything that is a narcotic, once you take Narcan, it will pretty much undo it. I did not know that. Can no one take that from me? And I will not sabotage myself in any way, shape, or form for anyone to be able to take anything from me. Because right now I'm in my building stage. So the purpose of all of this today is whatever you are doing today, realize that it can and will have a reaction. Pray that it is a positive one. Work on it that it is a positive one, but always, always be mindful that every action has a reaction. So be smart, be wise, think before you do, think before you act, because whatever you're doing now, you might not be where you want to be, but at the end of the day, you continue to build, you will be. Eventually, if you keep on trying and trying, it will always be. So I wanted to say that because it felt like it motivated me. So over and out. Jay Barthy.